Alright guys, welcome back. We're still just finishing up our cables here. We're just about through the list, only a few more, and then we'll go ahead and start our inscribers up and start actually building what we need to build. So I want to upgrade our inscriber to an advanced inscriber because they're a lot faster, so to speak, and they can handle more. It's also easier to automate advanced inscribers. They can be upgraded with speed upgrades and things like that. So we're going to build an auto crafting system to make all of our processor silicon, stuff like that. However, we need to make the advanced inscriber first. So that's what we're going to do. Won't take long. I'm just going to do all these basic smart cables too, because sometimes that's helpful to have just the 8 channel instead of the 32, because the dense cables or the 32 channel cables don't always connect with everything the best way. So having more than just dense cables is very helpful, I would say. Anyway, we are gonna build, in other news while I'm kind of clicking through here, with our computer system, I believe there is a way to sync it up with our refined storage system, which will be pretty cool. That way we don't have to transfer all of our items and kind of start over on that. Both of them can be linked, so we don't have to redo all the auto crafting that we already have. We can just leave it the way it is. The reason why I want to get into Applied Energistics too, not only because there are quests linked to it, but primarily because there are what do you call it? There's a way to essentially go in and link up your EMC system to Applied Energistics 2, so you can have your entire EMC system accessible through your computer, which is pretty awesome, right? You can't really do that with refined storage, or at least you couldn't. I don't know if you can now. I'm not going to waste my time since I've already started on Applied Energistics 2. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Before we get too much farther ahead of ourselves, I do want to upgrade this little guy. So let's type in stars. So I've got the 4. Yeah, so I think it's just 4 of these. This is the next one. So spheres, cool. So we've got 1 sphere. We're gonna put all of our EMC in that though. So give me 1 second here, guys. I know we've done this so many times, it's not even funny. But that's how it works. So sorry. Did that empty it? It did. Cool. Okay, so that's good enough. Take the EMC from that too. Alright, so 212 trillion EMC in our star now. I mean, we don't, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with this. We don't really need it because we need some EMC for our red matter armor so we can fly and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we don't need 200 trillion by any means. So kind of a waste, but also kind of fun. Anyway, let's go back over here and start putting together this computer and kind of show you what you need. So if you're new to advanced, or to Applied Energistics, I should say, kind of the first step is you want to build an ME controller. You also want to build a storage drive, and then you need an energy acceptor, which we've got, a way to give power to it, and then you also need one of these storage drives. So 1K, 4K, 16, or 64. This one doesn't have the mod that expands these to even larger than 64K, but that's alright, we don't necessarily need it. So how do you get started? Right, so let's grab a flux point and some conduits so we can pipe in some power. Well, actually, we don't even really need conduits. So what I want to do is I want to use this quadrant here for the controller, and then maybe the other ones for crafters and storage and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is plonk that guy, put it on main, because who cares, and then good enough. So we're gonna set up this side as like our machines for AE2 or Applied Energistics 2. Yeah, and this is where we're gonna put our inscribers. To start off with, we're just gonna go and use this basic bitch one, plug it in. Cool. Now we're set up. So this is the first step. We need our presses, which are EMCable. I don't know why I don't have them in the computer, but I don't. So that's fine. We'll take a logic, a calculation, a silicon, and an engineering. And then we also need gold. Not one gold, 64. We need diamonds. And we need silicon. Perfect. Okay. So we can't quite do these calculation presses because we need pure crystals for it, but I'll show you kind of how to get started. So the way this works, you can see there's presses and there's a little ingot icon here, right? And then there's this for the output. So if I put in a silicon press and then some silicon, it only does one at a time on this. The advanced inscriber will stack. That's why I want to make an advanced inscriber, and this makes a printed silicon. So pretty easy. We also need a little bit of redstone, so I'm going to take some out. So we've got 2. We're going to make 4 real quick because I need to make a couple of these engineering presses, and then I also need some logic presses. So not a big deal. We're just going to make a few printed silicon because that's one of the components to make the circuit boards. So yeah, we'll show there. We'll show you how it works. We'll get there. Don't worry, guys. We'll get there. But yeah, so this is kind of the first step. You use an inscriber and a press with silicon to make printed silicon. Then we're going to take that out. Next, I'm going to use the logic press with gold to make printed logic circuits. Yeah, so pretty easy. Not too bad, right? We're going to make, I don't know, 4 of them? Sure, why not? We'll make 4 of them. I don't know. I'm sure there's some algorithm thing out there that tells you exactly how many you need in order to do it with the least amount of time or something like that, but you know what, I don't really care. Not a big deal. We'll make 4 of these as well. And then after these 4 are made of these printed engineering circuits, so engineering press, diamond, and an inscriber makes an engineering circuit. Once we have our 4th one, we're going to take all this out, and then we're going to make the actual processors. So the way that works is you take one of your circuits, one of your silicons, and a redstone, and it will go ahead and make a logic processor for us. Perfect. We're going to make some more just because we've got 4 of each. We're going to make all 4 because we'll use them. Trust me. You always need more of these than you think, so if you're debating on how many to make, always go with the larger number. That's the best advice I can give you on that. Once we automate this, it's not as big of a deal because you can basically build an auto crafting setup and have it make these for you automatically and you can even put a level emitter is what it's called on it. So like, let's say you want to always have 100 on hand, you can set up the computer to auto craft 100 and then stop if there's 100 in the system. Once it goes down, even by 1, it will make another one through this auto crafting system. So we'll get to that. That's a little bit more advanced. It's probably going to end up being in another episode because we're almost out of time, but no worries. So now we've got 4 engineering processors, 4 logic processors. So what do we do next? Next, we are going to go ahead and make our controller, which does need pure Fluix crystals. So you make a Fluix seed with Fluix dust and sand. Pretty easy, right? Oh, those are EMCable. Cool. I didn't realize that. So we'll just take a stack. The other thing I want, that's an accelerator. Perfect. This is what we want. Crystal growth chamber. So what this bad boy does, if I plonk, oh, it needs an acceptor. Fine. Easy peasy. There we go. If we put these in, it will essentially auto